You're beautiful. Amazing. Now, hola, Internet amigos. Don't be afraid of robots and killer drones. We need all this tech and robots to get to the moon and Mars and stay there. That is the primary role of this technology.
You'll notice children in the streets as well. This is everyday life happening in perfect harmony.
Including AI, which is about AI not killing you all. So relax. The fact this technology might kill you will be an unfortunate byproduct of its implementation and not the primary goal. O'Connell will explain, and I hope my words bring you comfort.
Hola, Internet amigos. Thank you, President Trump. Yes, the main aim of AI is AI. The main aim of large language models is large language models. And it will take us to blessings of incredible technological achievement, incredible technological advancements. The aim is not to kill us all. The aim is not to create AI to surveil us all day, every day, as Peter Thiel would love. That's not actually the aim.
You know, all I ever wanted was a small planet to run.
That will be the unfortunate byproduct of the wonders of this thing called large language models and quantum computing and the CERN particle accelerator.
There is a moment in the near future that scientists believe will transform the notion of what it is to be human. By conducting some of the most controversial experiments, scientists are unlocking the secrets of the human brain, moving us towards the moment when it will be possible to store our minds in machines. Then, we will be able to change what we are and who we are. So threatening is this future scenario that one man has killed to try and prevent it ever happening. This is the story of how biology and technology will combine to create a new kind of human. A human version 2.
Wonders will come, and it might kill us all. So a small group of people can control a large group. But that's not what it's for. What are the robots truly for? What are they experimenting? What is Tesla for? Why did they just go with all visual instead of with LiDAR and all the rest like everyone else? Well, the reason is, I'm about to tell you. It's all about Mars and the moon. Let us attend.
In cyber is a real domain of power. In cyber is a real domain of power.
Let's now watch Vanessa. Vanessa does some good stuff. She's based in Sweden, American, works in IT. Let her do a bit of an intro on this.
Right now, I'm in Amazon's largest fulfillment center, which employs 2,000 human workers and 7,000 robots.
Let's see if this McDonald's is really fully automated. So today we headed to North Texas to check it out. And upon arrival, you'll notice that you do have to order from the app to get the automated service.
Flamingo, Las Vegas. Y'all all losing your jobs now.
No way they got fighting robots here. Yo, check him out.
Robots. We're told they will make our lives better, but corporations are deploying them to cut costs, and we're the cost.
Workers at a Detroit General Motors facility say they are disgusted after more than 1,000 employees are laid off and dozens of robots are now on the job instead.
The collaborative robots, or as they are called, cobots, help employees attach body panels on vehicles. Jim says they are designed to work beside people, improving safety, ergonomics, flexibility, and competitiveness. But to workers who have watched their plant shrink, the order of events is hard to ignore. Their jobs disappeared, then the robots arrived.
General Motors laid off more than 1,000 employees and then installed 50 robots. Meanwhile, this company posted $4.3 billion in profit for Q1 this year. So they have plenty of billions to pay for real human workers. Someone commented, "Good, maybe robots can buy their junky trucks too. Who remembers the tax dollars bailing them out?" The president of the United Auto Workers had some words on the matter.
The threat of humanoid robotics and mass automation, it's a profound threat and a challenge to our way of life, to our economy, and our political system. We need to be clear about this. We are in a fight for humanity.
This is the part that isn't talked about nearly enough. More workers are now competing with robots for the same job. Look at how insane this is. When I first saw this clip, I thought it was AI, but then I caught Moderna on the side of the robot and found out, no, this is real. And as dystopian as it is to say, this is a drone dog. It's a robot built by Boston Dynamics, but with software built by Aslan. According to Moderna, the security robot can use AI to identify people and vehicles, autonomously avoid obstacles, sense the environment around it, and complete pre-programmed alarm response missions.
Okay, we can stop there. You can watch the whole thing below. Now let me tell you what it's really all about. This is all stuff for the moon and Mars.
In Phase 1, an ecosystem of 3D printing robots will arrive months in advance of any human explorer. They will construct the protective shield for the base by adopting a modular robotic swarm strategy, a plan that allows for redundancies and enhances the odds for success. Intelligent autonomous robots will have interchangeable roles, from battery storage to scout rovers, logistics to excavational, and even 3D printing units.
We ain't going nowhere until they get fully autonomous, AI thinking, visually challenged robots. That's what Tesla's about. It doesn't make any sense. Let me tell you can think for yourself. Every single other autonomous vehicle manufacturer uses LiDAR, 67,000 other sensors, infrared, you name it. It uses all sorts of things.
And that core belief is that lasers, or rather LiDAR, is the secret sauce that could really crack this incredibly complex problem of autonomous vehicles wide open. There's a big debate between companies who use LiDAR and the one company that doesn't.
But no, Elon Musk says, no, we're just going to do all visual. And when you actually look at the cost of their cameras and their specs, they're really cheap, crappy cameras they put in those Teslas. So you ask yourself, what is this? It doesn't even make sense. You can't and will never have fully autonomous driving vehicles. Even with the LiDAR, there have to be sensors in the road. And this is from their own documentation that came out in 2017, where they said there will be fully autonomous vehicles when, one, there are sensors in the road, sensors at every single intersection there, and every single vehicle is linked in with high frequency, 28 gigahertz, low ping, 5G. So it will know where every other car is at every time. And then, according to their own documentation, we can have fully autonomous. Until then, it's not happening. So all of this is, in fact, a Department of Defense experiment. That's what it is, a Department of Defense / NASA and privatization experiment. All visual AI, ostensibly for the military, because they don't want any EMF, any electromagnetic frequency giveaways, so that when you put the autonomous kill vehicle, whether it's rolling or swimming or floating or flying through the air, all AI visual is very important, but it's more than that. I'm just giving you a clue. It's called a clue. I want you to think too, just like, Hamas leadership being right next door to the biggest US base in Qatar, in 5-star hotels in Doha. Hurt us so easily, they just keep feeding us crap. But if you can get your little goy brain working, you can ask yourself, why would Tesla be so infatuated with all visual? It's because it's a Department of Defense test for AI, all visual obstacle avoidance and identification. That's why. And they need the data That's all Tesla is. It's an outlet for DARPA and the Department of Defense. And they privatize it and put a half-wit in front of it called Elon Musk. Had the transfer of technology and continuing engagement with China gone on, then we wouldn't know or wouldn't be fully aware that Musk is a raving lunatic, drug-addicted fool. But once they had to disengage from China, it all came apart. The multipolar world order was over, disengagement with China has begun, and guess what? Now it all falls apart. All the electrical vehicles we all know is a complete and utter scam, and the rest is history. So this is the fallout that's coming down the line right now. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely a place for small electric vehicles, just small, cheap electric vehicles with a 200-mile range zipping around town. I reckon they're awesome. I'd love one. You can just plug it into a normal power outlet and it'll charge overnight. But the rest of it is just garbage, plainly garbage, until you understand the grand picture. But beyond the Department of Defense and this autonomous vehicle stuff, which is probably all going to come and kill us, apart from that, it's actually about stuff for the moon and Mars. Now, I need to clarify something with you, and I want you to listen very closely. I am very aware of the limitations on interstellar travel. The distances are so vast, it's incredible. But I'm going to put to you that with the combination of infinite parallelism in quantum computing,
Lloyd's unique vision has helped spark a revolution in computer science. This experimental machine has the potential not only to supersede conventional computers, but the human brain also.
We're looking at a simple quantum computer. This thing that looks like a large beer keg over here, cooled with liquid helium, aka a quantum computer. Let's fire it up.
What this machine does is unlock the computing power contained within some of the smallest particles in the universe, atoms.
Troy will type instructions into this conventional computer. The conventional computer will then send signals over to this bank of electronics. Even though this is a relatively large piece of equipment, we can in fact talk to individual atoms. When the atoms talk back, they talk in a very soft voice. And each one is giving us only a little tiny bit of an answer, like, I'm 0, I'm 1.
By getting atoms to speak in this code of conventional computers, Lloyd hopes to exploit a bizarre property of the atomic universe. It is called quantum mechanics.
Quantum mechanics is weird. I don't understand it. Just, live with it. You don't have to understand the nature of things in order to build cool devices. Or whimsically called a qubit.
Unlike the world we experience, atoms have an uncertain existence, where they can be here or there, or this and that, in the same moment. Within this strange phenomena lies a power that Lloyd is attempting to harness.
The question is then, what do you do with this? And the answer is, well, let's party, right? So if we take a quantum computer, what does a quantum computer do? The quantum computer does this and does that at the same time. You don't have to stop with just, doing 2 things at once. You can do 4 things at once, or 8 things at once, or 32 things at once, or a million things at once. And if you can figure out how to take advantage of this quantum multitasking, we can build computers that can do computations that no classical computer could do, even if it were the size of the entire universe.
Lloyd and his team are several years from computers of such power.
Oh, and there it is. It's done this and that at the same time.
Okay.
But in demonstrating the principle, we are seeing a glimpse of the moment machines will advance beyond us.
The technologies that we're developing now are the technologies that may be used 20 years hence to build, laptop computers where you store bits of information on individual atoms. And such a computer, if you could store information on every individual atom in the laptop computer, in terms of raw processing power, would be much, 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 much more powerful than the human brain.
The quantum stuff, combined with these huge data centers and sensors, they're going to put sensors everywhere. They want them up your bum. They want to measure fart, gas smell. They want to measure blood pressure. They want to measure temperature. They want to measure the grass height.
12:45. Restate my assumptions. 1. Mathematics is the language of nature. 2. Everything around us can be represented and understood through numbers. 3. If you graph the numbers of any system, patterns emerge. Therefore, there are patterns everywhere in nature. Evidence. The cycling of disease epidemics. The wax and wane of caribou populations. Sunspot cycles. The rise and fall of the Nile.
They just want to measure everything and infinitely put it into a huge database in real time. Not just to store, but in real time. They want to be able to take a second of time on planet Earth and have sensors everywhere at all times. And with massive parallelism only available through that CERN particle accelerator experiments where they want to simulate the universe, combined with quantum, combined with standard computing in large data centers and real-time 28 gigahertz and above 5G, fast, low internet ping. They're going to combine that all in and they're going to be able to simulate the universe, simulate the Earth. The advances in technology will be mammoth. And things like attaining 10%, 20%, 30% the speed of light, which they will tell you, it's impossible. I want to now take you on a journey to the Wright Brothers. Observe, here are the Wright Brothers. Here they are with their crappy old wooden plane, 1903.
Hey Peter, it's amazing. One day in 1903, we were risking life and limb, flying around on an old wooden joke of a death machine. The next we were flying at 80,000 feet and Mach 3.2 in an all-titanium turbo ramjet space machine. Time sure flies. Who could have imagined it back then in 1903?
So true, JD. As I was musing about time travel and taking over the world with a thing called a computer, it suddenly occurred to me how quickly technology advances. We're flying now on this contraption in 1903. Just 56 years later, the SR71 Blackbird would fly with no computer-aided design, just pens and paper and set squares. Incredible.
Let's now go 56 years into the future. It's 1959, and there it is. The all-titanium turbo ramjet Mach 3.2 cruise, 80,000 foot plus, incredible piece of machinery. The SR71 Blackbird, then called Oxcart. That was its CIA name at the time. 56 years. I am 55 years old. I was born in 1970. We used to wear bare feet, drink out of hoses, cassette tapes, data cassettes, Commodore 64s, VIC-20s, all right? In my lifetime, it only seems like yesterday, I was surfing and windsurfing and diving and catching lobster or crayfish with a stocking on the end of a stick, fishing, swimming, doing all camping out, disappearing for days, and your mother go, where you been? Out with mates. In those good old days, Gen X days, in my lifetime, you've gone from 1903, and if I had have stood with you in front of that rickety aircraft and I said to you, you know what, Sonny? I reckon in 56 years, we will have an aircraft made of titanium with a special turbo ramjet engine, and it will travel at over 3 times the speed of sound at 80 to 100,000 feet. In 56 years from this day, you would have looked at me and gone, you are stark, raving mad. And I put the same things to you. In 56 years, assuming we're all here, there will be technology that will blow your mind. Technology that will ensure we are going to the moon and we are going to Mars. We're not sitting here on planet Earth. We're reaching out beyond the solar system. How? I don't know. Go back to 1903 and ask those same people if they could have comprehended in 1959 the SR71 Blackbird, 56 years later. So what makes you think that you are going to comprehend what we're going to have in 56 years, especially with the advent of quantum computing, the CERN particle accelerator experiments, and massive parallel processing by standard computers, and data, which we supply willingly? What do you think we're going to have? The blessings could be enormous, enormous. The side hustle and the side issue is it will also enable a tiny group of people to control a huge amount of people and force them into a smart city and then control them and ultimately kill them.
The problem is, there aren't that many Jews in the world. There aren't that many Jews in the world.
There's the other side of the coin. So, you need that big picture to begin your journey into adulthood, your journey into political engagement. You're going to grow up, or you're just going to whine about it online all day? We have proven again and again, we have performed miracles.
And all of our tech companies are being infiltrated by Israeli military intelligence. So check this out.
Just by engaging with the system, joining the Republican Party, I'm not going to ask you to join the Democrats, join the Republican Party and take it over. Just take it over. You can do that. You can demand paper ballots and end to electronic voting. You can do that. That's scared of you. Look what Mary Silver's done. I'm talking to her tonight, by the way. They are terrified of her. Why is she dead? Why aren't I dead? Does it ever occur to you that what's keeping us alive right now is a mass employed sector of managerial class in the intelligence communities, state and federal authorities, policing and military? Did you ever not think that these people have children too? Did you ever not think that they too are going, uh-oh, I don't like this? They want to get rid of those people and automate the systems. It's not just about the kill bots that are coming to get us. It's not just about that. That's frightening enough. It's about automating systems with battle management systems where you don't need humans. And if you don't need the humans, they take away that access point for us, humanity, our common humanity. It's like me, when I'm a copper and someone says to me, here's an indictment or here's an arrest warrant, go and arrest them. If I'm in the system, I can go, sure, boss. And I can go, oh, I couldn't find him. Sorry about that. See the human in the system? Now imagine if that is automated and the judge can tell the robot, go and get this citizen. And the robot can go, the citizen is exactly here. And they just go off when they get you. There's no human interaction now. And that is the automation of systems I would be very, very worried about. At the same time, we are going to need this technology to reach for the stars. Don't let them tell you it's impossible, it can't be done. Yeah, just like in 1903, they could never have imagined the all-titanium SR71 Blackbird flying at 85,000 feet, cruising at Mach 3.2. With a revolutionary turbo ramjet engine that was no supercomputers, no computer-aided design, man and the occasional woman with a set square sitting with a big table with a pen and paper designing that aircraft, Kelly Johnson, the incredible Kelly Johnson and the Lockheed Skunk Works. That was when America was fulfilling its destiny, and unfortunately it is since post-World War II, it has been downhill fast, and now you're trying to get it back. This is a very dangerous time in history, but also a very, very exciting time. You're going to have people telling you everything is fine, and you're going to have people telling you everything is doomed. They are both working for very evil forces, whether they know it or not. I prefer to sit here and say, very honestly, no, this could be an absolute blessing, and it could also be a curse. But the thing is, we have control. We have control, but if you refuse to pick up the sword and engage in your daily political life and be an active citizen involved in your community and your politics, then don't whine like a bitch when those robots start coming for you. In summary, everything we're seeing, including this stuff, operating here in the background, could be a blessing or it could be a curse. We can make choices as human beings to say, I like that, but I think we should slow down the implementation or even stop it at certain times until we're ready, until we have an education process for citizens about what's going on. Their view is we can't have that. They're all lunatics. We need to build smart cities to lock up the lunatics. And I'll probably cheer that on, and so will you. But guess what? Will they stop at the blue-haired, deviled, non-binary lunatics, or do they come for all of us? But demographics is destiny. The economy is destiny. Looking at wrong camera again. The economy is destiny. Demographics is destiny. You're going to have huge socialist taxpayer handouts to get things on an even keel. And then we've all got to sit and decide that the magic of what we think, we cannot have endless economic growth. It just can't happen. You can't just keep pulling the money out, which is really pulling resources, and just mindlessly going on a consumption-based society. We need to have a conversation, an intelligent conversation about where this is all going. Where's it all going? Well, you're too busy talking about Kim Kardashian's big ass. They're too busy talking about, I don't know, sports, stupid soccer. Who gives a... Someone else been watching the football? I am just so uninterested in sport, it's not funny. But maybe I'm part of that Plato Republic managerial class. Are you going to let me have power and control because you don't want to? Because I will use that technology to start killing as many of my enemies as possible.
Yeah, on the list.
I'm fully aware how evil I can be with unrestrained power. And if I am fully aware how evil I could be, maybe you should look at these rat bags that are up there right now and ask yourself, is the problem them? Or is the problem me and my refusal to grow up and engage on a daily, weekly, monthly basis with the political party of my choice, which is right now no choice, Republicans? Get into your Republicans and start taking them over. Just go in there and listen and get to know the people there. The vast majority, as Mary said, they're just ignorant and stupid and they don't know. And you're going to pick up and find that you're going to find people who are just like you, worried just like you. And they're not just working 9 to 5. They're in the military, they're in the intelligence community. Why do you think and how do you think I'm still here? If the all-powerful Jews and the all-powerful state and the black helicopters come and then the Masonic Lodge send the killers in, don't you get that there's also a lot of good people out there? Stop living in Hollywood bullshit land and start living in reality. They're going to keep telling you it's over, it's finished, we're doomed, panic. It's designed to keep you in an anxious state so you can never sit and relax and say, actually, everything is fine, except in Gaza and a few other places around the world. Everything is fine. Actually, things are pretty good if you want to look at it. And maybe a lot of the stuff I see online is actual bullshit, and they are taking small problems that we've all faced throughout time and history, and they've said, we're all doomed, said Hanrahan, if the robots keep coming. I don't believe in this doom and I don't believe in this gloom. I told you there's no collapse coming. It's all a freaking lie, and look at it. They told you everyone will be starving due to the Straits of Hormuz. I said it's garbage. It's crap. The US is in total control. When are you going to stop listening to bullshit artists, clickbaiters who lie to you on a minute-by-minute basis? When you have decided that you will no longer listen to them, if you have decided you will go down and meet face-to-face with real human beings, lo and behold, you're going to find you can change the world. And now you have to be responsible for you. And that was what I grew up believing was the American way. That unlike the crown corporate, the paternalistic, I'm born to rule set who are trying to take over the planet as we speak, you go to America, the lighthouse on the hill, where you can grow up and take part in your society and the decisions made about you. Children shut their mouths and do as they're told. Children are wards of the state, wards of their parents. You are not a child, so stop acting like one. Everything is awesome. Don't let them con you. We've all had problems throughout all time and all history. Your problems are normal problems. Stop blaming the Jews, stop blaming the AI, look in the mirror and go, yeah, I can partake in things. Have some faith that there are good people in the system willing to help you if you will help them and push forward with these messages. God bless you, God bless America, God help the rest of us. Talk again real soon. F. Scott Fitzgerald, quote, "The test of a first-rate intelligence is the ability to hold two opposing ideas in the mind at the same time and still retain the ability to function. One should, for example, be able to see that things are hopeless and yet be determined to make them otherwise. This philosophy fitted on to my early adult life when I saw the improbable, the implausible, often the impossible, come true."
What is our common bond truly? Freedom. Freedom. Without freedom, you can't be a Christian no matter what denomination you belong to. You can't be a Buddhist. You can't own a donut shop. You can't drive from here to Oregon. You can't be an American because that's what it's all about, and that's the only thing that it's all about, nothing else. Nothing else. It's about freedom. Only freedom.